What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and check out the content. And in this excuse me, in this video, man, I want to talk about LeBron James and his future in the NBA, retirement, and reasons that I think that LeBron James can't retire, right? And one of the reasons why I think LeBron James can't retire is I think that LeBron James, the leverage, if you look at anything that he's doing, as far as like on the business side, outside of basketball with Clutch Sports, and also in basketball, the thing about LeBron LeBron James is his leverage is all tied to being in the NBA. And because LeBron James he don't have like great relationships outside of the NBA, and I think he missed opportunities to build bridges while he was in the NBA. And I'm gonna go a little bit more into that why I think he don't have these relationships. But once you leave the NBA, once he leave the NBA, his leverage will be gone, and that is the way LeBron James has been managing his career for the entire time that he's been in there. Instead of building relationships for the future, he used the leverage that he had while he is in the NBA. And over the years, that has rubbed people the wrong way. But let's listen to his post game speech when LeBron spoke about his future in the NBA.
LeBron, I'm sure we'll get to future questions soon, but JJ always talks about, or talked about before the game, the level of focus that he saw in you and kind of the leadership. How do you go from that, and then you guys battle to the way that you did, and then it's over? Like, how does that transition in your headspace at this point of doing it for so much time and all that you put into it?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's a process. It's not about to happen right now. The process of thinking about the whole season and its brutality. I mean, and then processing it over the next, we'll say a couple of weeks, and look back on some of the things you did great, some of the things you didn't do too well, some of the things that you, wish it would have went this way. But at the end of the day, you control the controllables, and what you can't control, you don't, try to, let it affect you too much or affect you at all. So, yeah.
LeBron, you've spoken to us about retirement more than at any other point in your career as this season played out. What do you feel like's left for you in the NBA?
Well, I think you guys asked me about it, and I've answered questions. Yeah, I don't think I've come out like, oh, retirement is coming. So, I mean, with my future, I don't know. Obviously, I mean, obviously we're still fresh from, obviously losing. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously, as it stands right now tonight. I got a lot of time. I'll sit back, like I think I said it last year after we lost, I think, to Minnesota, to go back and recalibrate with my family and talk with them and spend some time with them. And then when the time comes, I obviously, you guys know what I decide to do.
LeBron, this is the longest stretch of your career that you've spent in one place. What are the moments that you carry with you as a Laker that, like, at the top of your mind right now that stand out as special things you were able to do here?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, obviously winning the championship 2020 will stand at the top. I mean, that was the reason why I came here, to restore, that level of play and restore this franchise back to what it was known for, winning championships and playing at a high level. And to be out there with that group and go out there and win a championship and us competing at a championship level was something I kind of envisioned, and we was able to accomplish that. So that would stand at the top for sure.
So let me say this, right? LeBron James has been in the NBA for 23 years. And if you look at anybody else who has retired from the NBA, like take for instance Michael Jordan, right? Once you retire from the NBA, I don't care how much money that you make in the NBA, these guys still look for opportunities, like business opportunities. Like Michael Jordan is with Nike, and and he continues to get revenue from Nike through his tennis shoes and the merchandise that they sell, right? And you think about Charles Barkley is, he is doing TV and analyst. Shaq, Kenny, all those guys are analysts, right? And if you look at LeBron James, he won't like what Michael Jordan do, Kenny Anderson, and I'm sorry, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Shaq. When it comes to like the media part of it, I don't think LeBron will have that type of opportunity, right? And I think all of these opportunities that he won't have is because of how he managed and how he conducted himself throughout his NBA career, right? And so those certain opportunities won't be there for them. And people say, well, all right, well, LeBron James is a billionaire, and he can set up his own businesses and do things like that, right? But if you never owned a business, then you know that businesses are about relationships. And so when you build relationships and you have friendships with people, then you can go into business and your business will survive. But if you have burnt more bridges and you didn't establish any type of relationship with certain people, then you won't be able to do business, even if you're a billionaire after that, after your basketball career over. Like basically you can get froze out, and you basically from there on out, you just basically a consumer. You're not a business, you're not a business operator. And I know people say, well, he got all this money and all this from the NBA. Keep in mind that LeBron James is used to a certain lifestyle. And in order to maintain that lifestyle, you have to have money coming in. People even speak about, like, at one point, it was like, well, Michael Jordan is in debt. And, there you'll have reports come out that, well, Michael Jordan is worth $3 billion, right? And then you'll have other reports come out that say, well, Michael Jordan is in debt. So it can, if you don't have relationships, and that's what business is all about. It's about relationships. Look at Floyd Mayweather. This guy made all the hundreds of millions of dollars, and people talking about he's in debt. That's because you need to have relationships. So when you retire, Floyd is a perfect example of somebody who is more so a consumer than he is a businessman. Like, you see all these different cars, the watches and the jewelry and stuff, that you always see him buying stuff, but you never see him like promoting anything, or you never see him saying, well, I'm getting ready to open this restaurant. I'm going to build a golf course or something like that, right? Or I'm going to go into NASCAR. I'm going to, none of that. He did at one point in time say that he had some apartment complexes that he bought in New York, right? But people said that wasn't true. So my thing is, LeBron James, like I said, he had 23 years in the NBA, and it all goes back to doing things the right way and doing things, like keep in mind the future in mind. And when you look at his career, he's always taking shortcuts. He's always, people say, well, LeBron James is so wise and so savvy. He studies the game. But when you look at the decisions that he made, from leaving from one team and going to another team and trying to take the easy route and build super teams rather than putting in the work like Mike did, like Kobe, like Magic, like Bird, those guys earned everything. Like, they're reaping the residuals now in retirement from what they did when they played. Like, when you think about Larry Bird and how hard he played, or Kobe Bryant, how hard he played, there is a certain, like, it's almost like a nostalgic and an admiration that people have for those guys for what they did for the NBA. But when you look at LeBron James and how he moved around in the NBA, how he took shortcuts, how he brought his son in, somebody who also didn't earn his spot in the NBA, that's not somebody who is, and people, that's not somebody who people is going to be like, oh yeah, I want to partner up with LeBron James, and we're going to do business with him. LeBron James, even like LeBron James as a pitch man, his image is kind of it's kind of polarized, right? Like LeBron James, you either hate LeBron James or you like LeBron James. And so if you wanted to bring LeBron James in to promote a product or service that you had, then you taking a big risk because he is just so polarizing. Whereas though, you could, Larry Bird can do a commercial for insurance or what is that, or State Farm or something like that, because Larry Bird is somebody who is beloved. Like, a Magic can do and promote different sporting events, and Magic can come on and, because Magic is somebody who put the work in and who is beloved, right? LeBron James is not like that. You have, and I think once LeBron James retired from basketball, you're even going to hear about people who didn't like how he conducted him and the guy Rich Paul conducted business with, as far as like Clutch was concerned, right? I think that sports agency that they own, and people say, well, that's not even his, right? But everybody know that LeBron James is involved in that. But once LeBron James retired from basketball, I think they lose all their leverage, right? And so everything that LeBron James brings to the table is tied to his leverage in the NBA. Once he's out of the NBA, he's out of the NBA, and he's not protected by the NBA shield, then he won't be able to use his leverage. And then that's when he'll find that, he wasted time not building relationships, not doing the things the right way. So even on the court, he took shortcuts, and off the court, he took shortcuts. So that's why LeBron James, he's kind of hesitant to retire, because he knows now, he's starting to see now that his options are really going to be limited. They're going to be limited. And so I think LeBron James, I don't know where he's going to play next year, but I think he'll play next year, which will be his 24th year. And I think he'll at least go into his 25th year, man, which I think is, people say, well, he's still putting up good numbers. And his numbers don't equate to winning or being successful, and so anybody, somebody, like I heard Rob Parker say, somebody got to get the points. If a team score 110 points a game and LeBron James get like 28 or 30 out of that, that don't mean that he's dominant. That just means he scored 28 or 30 points. You got a guy, if you on the Wizards and you score 28 or 30 points, like, people don't even think twice about it. But because LeBron James is LeBron James and he scored 28 points, they say, oh, he's performing at a high level. He hang court, he don't play defense. So he's not performing at a high level. But that's my take on it, man. Watch, people just watch and see, like, people are already coming out and against LeBron James and saying different things about him, as far as performance enhanced and things like that. So that, but wait until he retire and just how stories and stuff come out, man. It's going to be crazy. And I think it's all going to reflect the fact that LeBron James, he didn't build relationships when he had the opportunity to. Sometimes when you have leverage and you have power, it's best to use finesse more so than it is to use bronze, right? And so that's why a lot of moves that he made throughout his NBA career is going to come back and bite him after retirement. And I think that's why he is hesitant to retire. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like, subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.